traffic. This is Cessna 67787 departing runway 8. On with traffic.
Those are also things I take into consideration.
Yeah.
All right, we're at 2,500 feet. This is all the altitude we're going to need for right now.
All right.
So let's just level off here, and as we level off, just do a 360-degree turn. We want to make sure we don't have the company here with us right now.
Okay.
I don't care which way you go. So when you're doing this turn, this is also a good time to be looking down at the ground as well as out at the, for traffic, and go, oh, well, that's a bean field, or that's rice. You can tell it's rice because it's got water all over it. That might not be a good place to land, but this over here looks like a field that's been freshly plowed. That might work as long as I was landing with the rows.
Yeah.
Right? If you go across the rows, there's a good chance you're going to flip upside down.
Okay.
Traffic Cardinal 1566, left base, 36, touch and go, Cardinal. Carlisle.
So you're cruising along, you start smelling an odor. Don't see anything, but you smell an odor. Start sniffing. The nose is pretty sensitive.
Yeah.
This odor smells, doesn't smell good at all. And it smells like electrical. Insulation or something. What would we do?
Battery off.
Right. You just reach over and flip that master switch to off. And then what would we do? On a day like today.
On a day like today.
Yep, day like today. It's a beautiful day. We're just up boring holes in the sky. What's the next thing you're going to do?
After you turn the master off?
Yep.
Probably turn off the other things you don't need, turn them on one at a time?
Nope, turn around and go right back to the airport. Right? We're not going to try to troubleshoot it if we don't have to.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
So on a nice day, we're not troubleshooting. We're just going to go back and land.
Okay.
Okay? We'll let the mechanic troubleshoot it on the ground. I mean, if all we're doing just up doing some training.
Yeah.
Troubleshoot on the ground. But, we'll change the scenario a little bit and we'll say, well, we're en route somewhere. You're really not familiar with this area. You don't see an airport real close. And maybe you want to try to get a radio working because you might have to go a few miles before you land. So then you would go ahead and turn everything off and then turn the master switch back on. Wait for a while, make sure we don't have a direct short in some battery powered electrical component.
Right.
And then turn on the one radio you want.
Okay.
Which one would it be?
Tom 1.
Tom 1? All right.
Is that what you do?
Yeah. In this airplane we don't have GPS. If I was an airplane that had GPS, I would rather have GPS than COM 1.
Okay. Yeah.
Because most GPSs have a nearest function, and I can hear nearest, and it'll tell me the nearest airport and give me a direction to go to it. So I can just boom, turn and go to that nearest airport.
Okay.
So there's no right or wrong answer. It's just what fits your situation at the time.
Okay.
All right. Let's make a turn to the right and head back toward the south.
Okay.
We're flying along and we see smoke coming out from under the cowling. Everything in here looks normal, but out there you're seeing smoke come out, and the smoke is black, a real dark gray.
That'd be more like a fuel or oil fire, wouldn't it?
Probably so. So if I saw smoke coming out from under the cowling, what am I going to do?
Pull your fuel out, shut off the fuel, turn off the ignition.
Right? And then what? You still see smoke.
And you start your dive.
We start trying to put this fire out.
85, I think it said in the
A minimum of 85.
Okay.
Right? But then it says increase speed as necessary
Yeah.
to extinguish the flame or create a, what did it say? An incombustible
Mixture. I think is what it was.
right, mixture.
Yeah.
That's it. And so we would need to create an incombustible mixture. So let's give this a shot just so that you see what it is, okay?
Okay.
I've got the throttle. The throttle is mine. It's simulated engine now. I'm going to bring the throttle to idle.
Okay.
Okay? And now then you want to create an incombustible mixture. Do it.
All right, we're at 85 there.
Faster. 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 Go faster. There you go. This is about what you're going to need.
Okay.
Nose down. Kind of keep it out of the yellow if you can, because we don't want to have structural problems.
That'd be nice.
Blow that flame out. Okay? We're descending about 2,000 feet a minute, 1,800. If we're 2,000 feet above the ground, we got about 1 minute we're going to be on the ground. So as you're coming down,
Yeah.
you're looking for where am I putting this thing down, right?
Yeah.
It's going to be real close, right?
Yes.
Wherever you're putting it down. So we say, okay, the flame went out. Stop your descent. Pull the nose up. Pull it up. And now go your best glide speed. Best glide speed, 60 knots. So we're going to pull the nose up, stop our descent, and now you've got maybe 1,000 feet to put this thing down somewhere.
Okay.
But you see, we're using that energy.
Yep.
And now then, where are you going to put it?
Right down there in that
Right
field.
down there. That's, I like it. I like it. So go that way. And what you want to do is plan it so that you make that field.
Okay. So
Which way you want to land in that field?
Probably that direction.
To
On
the
that one
north,
right there.
okay. So you're basically in a downwind, modified a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you kind of think about it along terms of your traffic pattern, you know how this thing goes in a traffic pattern. So
Yep.
now then, just plan your descent,
Yeah, I think I've turned too soon there.
right? And if you're a little high, what do you have to help get rid of that altitude?
I have, I don't know.
Flaps,
Ah.
right?
Yeah, I guess we have.
You can
turned
add some
early.
drag to help lose some altitude. Now, if we're going to start adding flaps, we want to make sure we have the field made.
Yeah.
But if you're confident you have the field made, start putting flaps in.
Yeah. Should I do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that's going to help control your speed
Yep.
as well as give you some.
Yeah, see, this is up too high.
Okay, go ahead and put in more flaps. So we see the problem here. Those trees are going to help stop you,
Yes.
right? Okay, let's go around, go around. You have the throttle back,
Throttle
power
back.
full, power all the way in, and then flaps to 10.
10.
We start a good climb,
Climbing.
climbing away, airspeed's good, flaps up.
Flaps up.
Now those trees are going to help stop you in that little ditch right there. The problem might be is you come to an abrupt stop.
Yeah. Might prefer something else to help stop me.
Right. Did you notice as we got down there close to the ground that that nice soft looking field became not so soft looking anymore?
A little muddy.
Yep. Gets these little dips and valleys in it, and grass clumps, and you're thinking, oh, that might hurt.
What would you have done at that point? We just said, well, this is the one I picked. I gotta.
Well, you can't go anywhere else, right?
Yeah.
Now, what I would have done, which we haven't talked about this yet, so I didn't expect you to do it, is I would have slipped the airplane.
Okay.
I would have used the side of the airplane to create more drag.
Yeah.
Cardinal 15.
And that drag is going to help me lose that altitude. I would have made my aim point be just the other side of those trees.
Okay.
And as I got down there close, and I would have made sure I'd been high, but as I got down there close to the trees with plenty of altitude to clear them, then I would have slipped it right across the top of the trees and right down into that field.
Okay. Yeah, I've done that simulator before, but I didn't want to.
Right.
Never tried it before, so I'm not going to do anything.
I know. That's we haven't talked about it,
Yeah.
so that's one thing that you can do. You know, what you'd like to do is to plan that descent,
Yeah.
you know, to make a nice landing in there without slipping the airplane.
Yeah, I think that's the
But
better
I would
routine.
rather be too high than too low. 'Cause
Exactly.
Whenever you're planning and you're planning, okay, if you do it just right, great, it's just right. But how often do we do things just right?
Yeah.
And so whenever I'm planning it, I'm going to plan to be on the high side, then use flaps and continue a stabilized approach and with the increased drag from the flaps. But then if I'm still too high, if I planned it just a little too high, now I can use a slip to create a little more drag. As we climb, let's continue to climb and turn left back toward the south. Clear right and left.
Carlisle traffic, Center 899, Charlie Tango, 10 miles to the southwest, over 2,500, Carlisle.
Carlisle traffic, Cardinal 15 Victor is left base, 36, Carlisle.
I guess another thing I get used to is how far you can glide.
Right.
I'm still not to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm this high, I can make that field, or I can make that field.
Right. That's why we'll do this numerous times, part of it is to help you understand where you can glide to.
Yeah.
So here we're back at 2,500. Let's just level off here. And down here to our right a little bit are a bunch of big fields, right?
Yeah.
So kind of go just toward that direction, because what we're going to do here is we're going to work on this glide thing. And what does it look like? What can you do if you're just getting the most glide out of it that you can get?
Yeah.
Okay? So we're cruising along. We have normal energy in the airplane. You're all trimmed up. We're basically 2,000 feet above the ground. So let's pull the throttle back to idle, carburetor heat out first, and then pull the throttle back to idle. And then, hold the nose up, hold it up, hold it up, hold it up. Why are we holding it up? Because we need to get slowed down to our best glide speed. Don't give up any altitude until you get to your best glide speed. Best glide speed being
65 with flaps up. 60 with flaps down.
All right. So now then that you got your speed, you're letting the nose down, you got it trimmed out.
Getting there.
Traffic, Cardinal 15 Victor is entering the left downwind, 36, Carlisle.
Okay.
All right. And you sit back and fly hands off?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So relax just a second, let this thing do its job. Look left and right and go, okay, where will you touch down? If you continued on this very straight line, where would we touch down?
We've got you in sight there. You
Probably the other side of that lake.
Yeah, just about where the water is.
Yeah.
Or just the other side of the water.
Yeah.
That's where we'd touch down. How fast are we descending as feet per minute?
About 600.
600 feet per minute. So if we're basically 1,500 feet above the ground right now, how many minutes before we hit the ground?
A little over 2.
Yep. And so since I wouldn't want to land in those trees or water, well, let's take a look at something to our right.
Yeah.
I'm seeing a nice cloud field, several of them.
Yes. Turn that direction.
Yeah. When you turn, I want you to watch what happens with your vertical speed.
Okay.
Victor is left base, 36, touch and go, Carlisle.
Yeah, well, not a lot happened with the vertical speed.
No, I didn't.
You know why? You made a nice, easy turn. But if you'd have banked over a steeper bank, you would
Falling
lose.
down a little bit.
You would lose some vertical speed.
Yeah.
Touch and go, Carlisle.
Okay, so at this, it looks like I might hit that small row of trees right there.
Right.
Maybe just on the other side of that. I guess you could kind of take it in and go that way a little bit diagonal, or is that a bad idea?
Well, again, as long as we don't overbank, I can turn is not going to affect my vertical speed very much.
Yeah.
But if you get down here and you go into a steep bank and trying to turn to land that direction, well, that could affect your speed.
Yeah.
So looking here or looking over there, I would maybe rather land on that plowed field to the left.
Yeah.
Okay, hand on the throttle. Let's make a left turn, see what that looks like.
Yep.
899 Charlie Tango is 12 miles to the southwest, inbound downwind 36, Carlisle. Morning, how you doing?
Oh, this might work out pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
You can land here, walk over to the road, thumb ride back town. Let's go. Carburetor heat.
In.
Do you think you'd be able to make it that far from 2,000 feet above the ground?
I really didn't.
You see, the biggest thing about an engine out is keeping your cool.
Yeah.
Keep your head.
Landed there and not feel I was freaking out or anything.
And so what we would want to do as we're making that glide down is run our checklist. As we're climbing, let's turn back to the left. We don't want to get into the traffic pattern here.
Yeah.
Now you know why we're coming up to the north to do this. There's a couple of reasons. One, I know the C-130s aren't flying this early, so we're not having to play bumper cars with C-130s, and there's lots of big open fields up here for us to utilize. So that, and there's actually a runway up here.
Oh, really?
Yep. That and once you see it, I want you to let me know that you see it.
Okay.
Touch and go, Carlisle.
There are a lot of runways around that we never see.
Yeah.
You know, usually they're grass runways, but there's also paved runways that you go, wow, look at that. Where did that come from? You know?
Like for agricultural use?
That or just private runways.
Yeah.
People got, you know, some land and they like to fly their little J3 Cub or something. And,
That sounds good to me.
you know, they go out there. And,
Haven't spotted anything yet.
We'll just level off at 2,500 feet again.
Okay.
Grenada area traffic, citation 662 Charlie Bravo, 12 miles to the north, inbound for landing runway 13, Grenada, descending out of 3,000.
I think maybe over there, closer where that smoke is. That one over there?
No. Take a left-hand turn.
Alright, left hand turn.
Carlisle traffic, Sun 899 Charlie Tango is 6 miles to the southwest, inbound 2,500 downwind 36.
Where?
See that dirt?
Yeah.
There's a grass strip.
Oh, into those trees?
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
And 9 Charlie Tango
Runs right up
6
into the
miles to southwest.
bottom of that road.
Yeah. Okay. Yep, didn't see that one.
Traffic, Cardinal 15 Victor, turn left, wind.
It's there though.
It is.
Grenada area traffic, citation 662
That's the Burnett's.
about a 6 mile left base.
The Burnett's?
Burnett is their name, yeah.
Oh, okay.
They do dirt work, heavy hauling, excavation, bulldozing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Nearly everybody in the family flies. They have a J3 Cub, so they built them a runway.
Nice.
Why is that a thing?
Traffic,
Somebody's got a...
Is it us?
It's not us. We're not transmitting. See, when we transmit, we get a transmit light.
Yeah.
We're going to turn the squelches.
There we go.
Let's turn the squelch the wrong way. All right. Okay, so we're cruising along and we start having engine misgivings. I mean, it's like spitting and sputtering and generally not doing well. Starting to vibrate a little bit. You know, it's doing something like that.
Uh-huh.
What's your first idea, thought about what's going on here? Not running, not vibrating, it's just running.
Maybe the mixture's kind of funky.
Okay, so what are you going to do with that?
Turn it all the way full.
There you go.
Rich.
Take it all the way in.
Okay.
Okay, well, oh, that just made things worse.
That's not good.
Now what are you going to do?
Pull the power out a little bit more.
Oh, that ain't helping. Now what are you going to do? In fact, RPMs are dropping off.
I'm going to take it all the way out then. Start my planning.
And Carlisle
What is this thing
traffic,
right here?
9
Carby?
Tango is
What's
4
it for?
miles to the west.
To heat up the carburetor?
We'll come behind
Yeah.
you guys for downwind.
In case you got ice in the carburetor.
Ah, yeah.
15 Victor,
So,
be departing the
what are you going to do with
west,
it?
Pull it out.
There you go.
The area. Have a good day.
Pulled it out and it started running rougher.
Push it back in.
Nope.
Oh, keep it out?
Yep.
And
Okay.
Carlisle traffic, 9 Charlie
If you
Tango,
had
we're
carburetor
still
ice,
2,500, currently
where's the
3
ice
miles
gonna
to the
go?
west. We'll stay up here. till
Into the
we
carburetor?
get inside.
Into the engine. So it's going to run rougher.
Yeah, okay.
And then you push the power back in,
Below 2,000, but we'll get you.
and it starts running smoother.
Roger that, thanks a lot, Greg.
Okay.
You go, oh, I have carburetor ice. Right? The reason it got worse when you took the mixture in is because you now made it richer, and you had less air but more fuel.
Okay. Yeah.
Right? And so it all makes sense, and you go, oh, wow.
All right, that's good.
All right? So we could have a fuel-air problem.
Yeah.
That is not enough air for the amount of fuel.
Okay.
Right?
Pretty light winds. 3/6 seem to
We
be
could
working
have-
out, best for
I'm
us.
going to give you a fuel-air problem. You ready? Here's a simulator. I have the engine. You have the throttle and the carburetor heat.
Okay.
I'm going to give you a fuel-air problem.
Okay. That would be a fuel air problem. Carburetor it out.
Well, yeah, that's certainly one thing you can do.
Okay.
But the other thing you do, push that mixture all the way in.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay? You see, one of the things we haven't done yet, but we're going to do at some point,
The town of Carlisle,
is we're going to take off, we're going to climb up to altitude, and we're going to go on across country, and as we climb higher, we're going to make the mixture more rich. Excuse me, more lean.
Yeah.
As we go higher, we're going to make it more lean.
That's under your nose now.
And as we go higher, we're going to make it more lean.
And we got you too.
And then we're going to descend and
Yeah,
come back
feel it.
down to an airport.
Yep.
Right? And as we descend, our mixture is going to be way too lean for the amount of air.
Caution, wake 30.
And then we're going to start having a
We'll watch out
running
for
rough and
heavy
that kind of
miles,
thing. So we go, oh, wait a minute, what's our problem? Well, if we use this same inverted L, we go, well, let's make sure the fuel's turned on,
Yeah.
both tanks. Then we reach up here and we go, mixture rich.
Yeah.
Hey,
And that
our
would
problem
fix it.
just cleared up,
Okay. Yeah.
right? We go, oh, well, let's go ahead and pull out that carburetor heat, right? I want to make sure I don't have any problem there, and I'll adjust this throttle to the RPM I want. I got a good running engine back, right?
Yeah.
And so, when these issues start happening, it's important for you to do what you did, and that is just maintain your altitude. Don't give up any altitude, because just like Rusty, he did not give up any altitude, and he was able to make it to an airport. Every foot you have is a foot that's going to help you go a little bit further.
Yeah.
Right?
True.
So, don't give up altitude. But you'll not quite often, it's possible that you'll have too lean of a mixture because you made it that way,
Yeah.
right?
Did you set it up earlier? And now the flying conditions now aren't set.
Right. It changed.
Yeah.
And you feel how it's running you
Yeah.
can feel just a little, you go,
Yeah.
wait a minute, that doesn't feel quite right.
Yeah.
And if I made it just a little more, the RPMs
Yeah,
are
that's
dropping
definitely
off.
not right.
All right.
Carlisle traffic, 9 Charlie Tango is left out.
Don't give up a foot of altitude till you have your airspeed.
Yeah. Got it.
Okay. Just so that you're aware, the engine is now dead. Right?
Okay.
The engine is not running,
Okay.
but it's still turning.
Yeah. Is that just the air coming by it?
It's the air that's pushing the prop. Okay? So it keeps your prop turning. As long as that key's on, if I get fuel back to the engine,
There it goes.
it starts running again.
Yeah.
Because as long as the prop is turning, the magneto's working.
Okay.
It's sitting there sparking, and it's just waiting for fuel to come.
Okay.
And once you put fuel back to it, it's running again.
Huh.
Okay?
Level 2500 again.
Yeah. So is an engine out a big deal? Not necessarily. It can get to be a big deal if we don't do what we need to do.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go back toward Conway.
I also guess it depends on where you are. If you're 500 feet above the ground, you have an engine out, then that's a big deal.
That's a big deal, right? That's why in our FARs it says, you know, you got to be 2,000 foot above or 1,000 foot above a populated area and 2,000 horizontally from it, or an uncongested area,
Yeah.
or over water. You got to be at least 500 foot from it, but you could be a foot off the ground, right? And then the third catch-all is, well, if the engine fails, do I have enough altitude to make an emergency landing without undue risk of bodily injury or damage to the airplane.
Yeah.
And so the true purpose of our lesson today is not to teach you all the scenarios and you're going to learn everything there is to know about emergency procedures.
Yeah.
It's to hopefully give you the tools of where to start in dealing with an emergency procedure, and to help you have confidence that the airplane's not going to just fall out of the sky.
Yeah.
As long as you continue to fly the airplane's going to fly. We keep our head about us. We do certain things. We're going to be able to land this airplane, get out, walk away, and go get help.
Yeah. Nice.
So what we're going to do, I'm bringing you back down here to the airport, 2,500 feet. We're going to pull the engine, do a simulated engine out, and we're going to see if we can make a landing on the runway.
Okay.
Okay, so we've done just a little bit of this glide thing, and you're going to just go right to the airport.
Okay.
We're going to go right over the top of the airport. When we get over the top of the airport, I want to take your engine.
Okay. And what's going to be the plan then?
The plan is to land on the runway. Any runway.
Okay.
Any runway. It doesn't matter. With an engine out, you own it all.
Okay.
Okay? I've been listening. I haven't heard anybody at the airport, and I'll make a radio call that we're simulated engine out. And I don't see anybody down there. So, we should be able, without any problems, go in here and land.
Are we actually going to land with the engine out?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the plan.
Okay.
If it doesn't work out, then we will, go around and do something else. But we would like to land, and we want to land on the first half of the runway.
Right.
Okay. That's what we want to do. If we look like we're going to land beyond the first half, we'll go around.
Okay.
Okay.
And for a go around, I haven't done the go arounds yet.
Go around is just power, carburetor heat, full, flaps to 10, start a climb, have good climb airspeed, climbing away, flaps up.
Yeah.
Let me know when you're sitting right on top of the runway. There is an airplane taxiing.
Oh, okay.
Conway traffic, Cessna 67787 is 2,500 foot above the airport. We're going to practice a simulated engine out. I see one airplane about to taxi out. Are you about ready to go, sir?
Yeah, I'll be starting off.
We'll wait on you. Go ahead. Okay. Let's make a turn to the left.
Yep.
Just make a circle.
Carlisle traffic, 9 Charlie Tango is downwind for 36 Carlisle.
Stuttgart traffic 3211 XO, left base 36, Stuttgart.
Conway traffic,
Hardly hear him very much. So he's on the runway now.
All right.
Did you say which direction he's going to be departing?
He's departing to the, well, I don't know which way he's going after he takes off. Let's not cross over the end of the runway though. Let's stay on this south side of the runway.
Yeah.
Bravo Yankee.
Because if he makes left traffic, we stay over here, he's not going to be a factor at all. If he departs out to the north, we won't be a factor.
Yeah. Is this rate of turn going to keep me from the runway?
No, you're going to need to increase it a little bit.
Okay.
And if he departs to the south, if he makes a right-hand turn, we're going to be well above him. So we're in a very good spot for maintaining visual reference to him and separation from him.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yep. Okay, just roll out on this heading here.
Okay. Cherokee 737 Whiskey departing on runway 9, Carlisle. I'll be out of his way.
Roger that, and Charlie Tango.
There he goes, he's making a left turn. Actually, he's going straight out. I thought he was turning.
In North Little Rock traffic, Skyhawk 184 is downwind for 5 North Little Rock.
Carlisle traffic 9, Charlie Tango, final 3-6. You got the Cherokee inside.
Carlisle traffic 7 Lima Whiskey. Turning across runway 8, beat climbing out. Carlisle traffic, Cherokee 37 Whiskey departing the pattern to the southeast. Carlisle.
Conway traffic, Cessna 787. We're over the field, 2,500, simulated engine out, Conway.
North Little Rock traffic.
He's just going to make a big turn.
7515.
Is he?
Yeah, so you just stay right here close to the airport.
Yep.
You're not going to have a problem.
For runway 5.
That's
We're going to overfly.
Larry Wilhelm.
1735 from the east and enter a left downwind for
That's his name?
35, full
Yeah.
stop North Little Rock. North Little Rock traffic, Skyhawk 184 is downwind for 5 North Little Rock.
Yeah, a little further away, I think.
Traffic, 15 Victor, they were supposed to have closed 523 this morning, have they not? Nope, no X's yet. And Stuttgart traffic, 3211 Echo 1.5 to the north through 1300. We're northbound off of 36 Stuttgart.
And the band is practicing this morning.
Traffic, Skyhawk 184 is base for 5.
Where do you see them? Oh, over there somewhere.
The Conway High School band looks like they're out there on the field.
Nice.
Aircraft departing Carlisle to the southeast. What's your intentions? This is Cherokee 37 Whiskey departed
A little high.
Carlisle to the southeast. I'm headed to Stuttgart, sir. All right, we're through 1500. We're northbound, just north of Stuttgart for 2000. We'll leave the lights on for you. Roger, I'm at 1000. Probably just going to stop around 1250. All right, so there should be no factor 11 Echo. Thank you.
All right, I'll put some flaps in.
Okay.
Sky 184 is final for 5.
Got the runway made?
I have.
Put them all in.
I don't know if I. Yeah, I guess I do.
Now we don't want to dive for the runway. We want to
Right.
keep our speed under control.
Carlisle traffic, none Charlie
you're like,
Tango is cross up.
There you go. You're like, am I going to
Carlisle.
make that runway?
Yeah, I'm gonna make the interstate.
North Little
Right.
Rock traffic.
Well,
15 Victor.
use a little rudder. Push your rudder one direction. But keep the nose going right to your point. Use a little more. A
little more rudder?
Yep. Keep the nose down. Your airspeed up. Keep the nose down. Airspeed up. Now let your vertical speed.
1,000 feet.
See?
Yeah.
This is a
Carlisle
split.
traffic 9, Charlie Tango, downwind 36, Carlisle.
We're using the side of the airplane to create more drag.
Yeah.
Conway traffic, Cessna 67787, final runway 8 Conway.
How do I get out of it?
You're just going to relax.
Okay.
Comes right out.
Yeah.
North Little Rock traffic. Cardinal 15 Victor.
Good job. Let's just go to the end of the runway.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
What'd you think of that?
Get a little air in. That's what I think.
Yeah. Now again, we didn't run any checklist.
Yeah.
Right? And I didn't want to. I wanted you to, like I said, today is more about you're gaining confidence that you're going to be able to fly this thing in an emergency and learning that glide. Okay, what does it look like?
Yeah.
You saw that you went on you basically were in a downwind, and you went into a downwind, a base, and a final, and we had a couple thousand feet above the airport. You flew pretty much a standard pattern, just with no power.
Right.
Right? And as you got on final there, you're like, wow, I'm going to be really high.
Yeah.
And so the very first thing, I mean, there's a couple different things you can do. Some airplanes you should not extend flaps and slip the airplane.
Okay.
Okay? Some airplanes you can. Depending on which airplane I'm in will determine what I'm going to do first.
Okay.
If I'm in an airplane where I cannot do both, I have to either slip or use flaps. I'm going to slip.
Okay.
I'm going to put it into a slip because I can lose a lot of altitude. I can really lay this thing up on its side
Yeah.
and get it to come down to lose altitude.
Yeah.
And then once I get down where I want to be, I can come out of the slip and drop into flaps to do a normal landing.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
If I'm in an airplane where I can do both, then I might go with flaps and see if that's going to be enough.
Yeah.
If it's not, then I can slip it a little bit.
Kind of like what I did just there. Just
Exactly what you did.
realized that flap's not gonna get me down far enough.
All right, we're going to make one takeoff,
Okay.
stay in the pattern, make one landing.
Ups up.
Normal pattern altitude of 1,300 feet.
Okay.
Carburetor, go.
Are you in?
Conway traffic, Cessna 787 departing runway 26 Conway.
Oh, traffic, Fernando, 7 Lima Whiskey.
That feels a little bumpy.
That's the tire spinning.
Is it? Yep. Wow, that's cool.
If you touch the brakes after you lift off, it'll stop the tires and it won't do that.
There we go.
Now the nose wheel will still spin because you can't stop it.
Yeah.
Just a normal traffic pattern.
When do I start my
Your return to crosswind.
Yeah.
Well, we want to have at least 400 feet above the ground. So that would say no sooner than 700 feet.
Yeah.
But so that we're not rushed and we can get our airspeed up and get leveled off into the downwind, I like to get a good 500 or 600 feet of altitude before I start the crosswind. And
Okay.
Northwest, entering a downwind for runway 36. Second.
Carlisle traffic, 9 car Tango, downwind 36, set to go, and we'll be departing TD West, Carlisle.
Carlisle's got a lot of traffic.
not normally. Well, Charlie Tango, that's Central Training. That's airplanes out of Little Rock. Going over to Carlisle to do touch and goes. And there you go. Go ahead and turn your into the downwind.
Expect I'll try to Cherokee 37 Whiskey on the left downwind to runway 36.
Very good. We're exactly 1,000 feet above the ground. You're in a very nice distance from the runway. This pattern looks perfect.
Awesome.
We get to beam the number, the 26 right there. What I'd like for you to do is pull out the carburetor heat and bring the power to idle.
Oh boy.
Okay?
Yep.
Now we're just going to manage our energy to make a runway, okay?
Okay.
Here we are.
Carlisle traffic, 9
Here we go.
Tunnel 36, set to go, Carlisle.
Use flaps when you want to.
Yep.
Never use them if you don't want to.
Yeah.
So there you go. You did exactly the right thing first. You held that nose up.
Traffic 7.
You did not lose any altitude.
Cherokee 37 Whiskey, turning station, runway 36.
That was the plan.
There you go.
Leave some of this pressure here.
We want to make sure we make the runway.
Yep.
No, we can do things to lose altitude. We can't do anything to gain it. So
That is true.
and you don't have to fly any kind of squared off base or final, or just make the runway. That's the important thing, right?
As long as we get it.
Echo, 5 miles northeast, maneuvering northbound at 2008. Start traffic, Cherokee 37.
Conway traffic, Cessna 787 is final runway 26 Conway.
For 5 for the run.
Perfect.
All right.
Let's taxi off. Can't do any better than that.
All right. That felt good.
Yeah. You definitely have a good eye for where you're going, and that's a natural thing for some people.
Yeah.
It's kind of like some people are athletes. They're just athletes. So some have a good eye for seeing that descent rate and doing that plan, and obviously you have it.
Great. Thank you.
What did you really change about your pattern?
Just kind of truncated the base.
Right. Kind of cut some of that base off and
Yeah.
slipped into the final a little bit sooner.
Yeah.
You didn't put any flaps out until you got around on final.
Yeah.
But your downwind was pretty normal.
Yeah. Absolutely.
And the base was normal, and then you said, well, I'm going to make sure I make the runway, so you cut in a little bit. So in our traffic patterns where we've been using power and all that kind of thing, do you have to use power?
No, you really
No,
don't.
you really don't.
Think of it that way.
Okay, clearing the runway, we can do the after landing clearing the runway checklist, which is, for us, a fairly short checklist.
Yeah.
Bring the flaps up, carburetor heat cold.
Come on, turn it.
Reset any lights that we need to set, but our lights are good.
Yep.
All right, and then there you go. Power off.